Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I'm very, very excited to be coming to you today with another fresh new guest interview for you. We haven't had a guest in a couple episodes, and so I wanted to get one back on today, and this is a returning guest of the show, James Manske with Elkhorn Lawn Care. James, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing amazing. How about yourself?
Absolutely. I'm doing good. Just staying busy, as I think everybody is this time of year. James, man, it's been a while. I think it's been close to a year probably since we've done a podcast. Maybe a little less than, but wanted to catch you back up and get you back on the show. I know. So last year, you hadn't really you were just getting on socials really like a year ago, a little over a year and a half ago, and you were just getting out. I mean, because you spent so much time building the business and getting it to where it is today, and now you made a name on socials now, and I know you're going to be at Entrepreneur Academy speaking this year, and so you've gotten out there. But if there's anybody out there who hasn't heard of you yet, that's listening to the show, give us a little rundown of who James Manske is, who Elkhorn is, and all the other things that you have going on.
Sure. Yeah, it's great to be back on and great to see you again and spend this time with you. I know we got to meet face-to-face at Equip last year, when it was GIE. So it's crazy how time flies, and that's coming up in a month.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, or 2 months. It doesn't make sense how quick all this the seasons go. But yeah, so I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I started probably like everybody else in our industry. I started pushing lawns and mowing lawns in the neighborhood when I was 15 and slowly just grew it into more divisions, more avenues, and built a full service lawn and landscape business that services residential, commercial, municipal, and we're slowly starting to spread into hopefully new territories, new states by 2023. So I love what I do because it's always changing. I mean, we're getting ready for the next fall season, which is different services and a big push and then snow. So it's always something different. That's what I love about it. And I don't think I'd do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to your level, you probably never do the same thing twice. Like, you're doing something different every single day, I feel like. Because even though the seasons roll around, like you just said, you're changing, you're growing, you're getting better and preparing. So what are y'all doing right now? What are you preparing for? Are you already into snow? Are you in fall? Where are you at right now?
Yeah, so we're just wrapping up the summer season probably here in the next couple months. So starting now, we're going full bore on aeration overseeding, and then that's going to lead into sprinkler blowouts and fall cleanups, and then Christmas lights. Christmas lights we usually start at the end of September, early October, which is crazy to think about. But
it's gonna be here
there's a lot of things that it's crazy. But I love it because the more we can prep and do sooner. I mean, in our climate, you never know when there's going to be a blizzard, right? So we're trying to get as much done so our guys are as safe as possible, and that's our selling point to customers. You never know when it's going to snow, and we might get pushed back. So you're going to get your lights up early.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What is the weather like in Omaha? Like right now, is it like 100 degrees? Is it 80? What is it like? I know it gets cold in the winter.
I think it's like 92.
Okay.
So it's still a little warm, but usually tail end of August, early September, it might be mid to upper 80s, low is 60s, upper 50s. So it's very pleasant in the fall, but I know what comes after fall, and that's what I don't like. I love warm weather. So
what does y'all's winter look like?
You know, typically we've had snow in the past year or so that was way below average, maybe 8 inches total for the whole season. So we did a lot of salting. It was a lot of small snows, but on average, we're 30 to 60 inches. So that typically starts anywhere from mid to end December through end of February, early March. So if there's no snow, we're still doing a lot of landscaping. We're still doing a lot of prep work. Christmas lights come down beginning of January, and that takes our crews a month and a half to do. So we're still busy. And then the snow is just kind of a filler when we're not doing anything else.
God, that is absolutely crazy. 60 inches. I cannot imagine that. Like, we're lucky if we get 4 or 5 inches a year down here in Alabama. So that man, I need to come out there to Omaha and I want to see that. That's crazy. But man, so that's really cool. So you built a full service business. You've grown it. You've scaled it. A lot of things have happened along the way. I guess while we're on the topic, real quick, let's just hit Christmas lights real fast before we move on. Why we've kind of already talked about it. Christmas lights is something that really intrigued me last year. I kind of got on the bandwagon too late in the year to really do it full force. Tell us a little bit about holiday lighting, Christmas lighting, how you got into it, and how y'all have grown it now. And I know we're in August. Why you people are like, why are you talking about Christmas lights? But it's like you're saying, they go up in a month and a half to 2 months. You gotta order them to get them here by then. So like now is the time to really start thinking about them. Tell us a little bit about your operation and how y'all do it, and kind of how you've grown.
Sure. Yeah. So the reason we got into Christmas lights early on was to keep guys busy longer, right? Mowing would be stopping, fertilizing would be stopping, irrigation would be stopping, and we just needed a buffer before it snowed.
Yeah.
And Christmas lights for us was a great opportunity in our climate because a lot of those things stop before, beginning of November or mid-November. And it gave us some time to start learning and adding in a new service. And what we found out is that the margins, the profit, and the ease of being able to put it up. I mean, there's no equipment. We don't use lifts. Our guys are tying off. They're on roofs. They're doing everything. So there's no machines. There's no fuel except driving to and from. And we sell all the product, right? So we're fortunate we have one of the best distributors in the U.S. here in Omaha. Bright Ideas Decorating. So if we need something, we just go get it. So we don't have to worry about the delivery or the pre-orders when we could just keep restocking. So we're selling the product. We're making money on the front end on the markup. And then we install, we take down, and we store. So just our storage income covers our lease for one of our buildings for the whole year.
That's crazy.
By just storing.
Yeah.
So it's worked out into a great filler, and now it's a great vertical of our business too, that the guys love because it's just something different. They've been doing landscaping or fertilizing or mowing all year, and then it gives those crews a chance to do something different.
Yeah, so I know on y'all's level, y'all are doing it on, multi-million-dollar houses. Y'all are doing it big scale. Christmas lights is what you do. So most of those houses come with very steep roofs, very tall roofs. How have y'all navigated that? What are some processes you put in to, I know you mentioned tying off, but keeping guys safe and kind of like even like insurance policies, things like that, because when you're up that far off the ground, like there's a lot of stuff that can happen.
For sure.
So for the guy getting into it, what is your advice to like how to start that, especially, on those steep roofs and things?
Yeah, I mean, if you need a lift for some of those houses, you need a lift, right? If you're starting out, you have to factor that in. But we've got some 40-foot extension ladders too, but you always need somebody holding the bottom that we can't even get a lift to because of how the house is situated with landscaping. So it just depends. Those ones, there's always a multiplier on how easy it is to install. So we usually add quite a bit more because it's going to take more time. You have to be safer. Sometimes you need multiple people just staging and making sure that while they're up there, it's the shortest amount of time that they're up on the roof.
Yeah.
So all of that goes into play. But if you can just start out on simple ranches, I mean, those are 12 feet off the ground, right? You can run across some of those houses to get your bearings. And there's a lot of different products and services that you can learn about or buy that hook onto ridge lines that are like a ladder. So you can, or those wedges that you can buy online too, that kind of stick to any kind of roof that gives you a seat or leverage. I mean, none of that was out when I first started. We had to just suck it up and figure it out.
Yeah.
But a cheap way to do that too is just couch cushions. So open up an old couch cushion, take the foam out. That sticks to any type of roof unless it's a concrete roof.
Yeah.
So you can actually kneel on it. You can shimmy up. You can move on it. That's not going to move at all. But those wedges, those little, I think they're like monkey ladders or whatever they're called, you kind of hook it over.
Yeah.
So those are all very good. But for us, we have to tie off. If there's anybody going around from the city or OSHA, they go around a ton during Christmas lights.
Yeah.
You can get fined for that. So it just depends what you're doing. But yeah, safety is our biggest thing, and we are insured for that as well.
Yeah.
For our state, there's no holiday lighting class code. It's actually electrical apparatuses. So we're the same class code as people that put up billboards, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you have to cover your butt. I mean, if something happens, you got to be able to take care of your people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's cool. I don't want to spend too much time on it. So we got way more in depth in Christmas lights on last year's episode that we did. So if this intrigues you, if you've never thought about it or you're thinking about getting into it this year, go back to the last year's episode, probably episode 60 or 70, somewhere in there, and check that out and listen to it. There's more in depth things there. But just wanted to tease in and kind of whet everybody's appetite because I know that it's coming soon, and we're going to try to do a little bit more than we did last year. We're still kind of in that stage of doing the simple roofs, maybe getting a wedge or something. And I did the couch cushion. The couch cushion worked extremely well. It's just it's one of those things. It's like so hard to trust it because I'm like, there's no like it's gonna fall at some point. It's gonna fall. But I mean, these roofers around us right now, there's a bunch of new builds going up. They're all just out there. They're just out there putting their whole weight on couch cushions. That's the only thing holding them up, and they're not going anywhere. So
it's crazy, but it works.
Yeah. Does it work on metal too? Does it slide on metal?
We don't have many metal roofs.
Okay. Yeah.
So I haven't tried that, but I know like the concrete definitely doesn't stick onto that.
Yeah. I guarantee you it slide down metal. We have pretty good bit of metal roofs in our area, but way more shingles. So couch cushions are a good option, man. Well, really, really fun stuff. I kind of want to transition here, and I want to piggyback off of Wednesday's show. So if you listen to Wednesday's show, we talked about self-development and kind of all the things that go along with that. And I wanted to talk to James about this because we weren't even planning this. I wasn't planning to do this after Wednesday's episode. It just worked out. I guess God had it this way. But James, you put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort into yourself and growing your brain, your mind, and your mindset. And I don't want to put any words into your mouth. I want you to take us through, really, honestly, if you want to, take it as far as you want it. I want you to run the show here and talk about the importance of self-development. I don't like the word self-help. Self-development, growing yourself, becoming better, smarter, because you've scaled now to, don't you have like 7 or 8 divisions in your company?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So, I mean, you've scaled on a major level. You're looking at buying new businesses. You are at where a lot of guys want to be. And it's not to say that you've made it, but let's look at all the things you've done to get to that point. So take it away, man. Talk about how you kind of started doing that. What made you get into, was it reading books? Was it listening to podcasts? How did you do it? And then kind of the process of how you've grown to where you are now.
Yeah, it's a great question. I love talking about this because this is where I didn't know what I didn't know, 5 years ago. So for so many years of my business lifespan, I thought I knew everything. I thought I was killing it and I was making a ton of money at $1 million. I'm like, this is awesome. Nobody's doing it. I don't need to train myself. I don't need to get help. Right. So probably about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I made that switch of like, why am I happy with 15% growth or 20% growth year over year? Like, how do I get 100% growth? Like, let's start impacting some lives of our team members. And so I started seeking out, okay, who are good mentors that I would want to be around? Who has programs or classes or conferences that I could be a part of a lot of winners, right? Because I was tired of being stuck in my same friends group where everybody's just complaining about their 8 to 5 and they weren't trying to do anything better and they're waiting for 5 p.m. to come around so they could not do anything and go drink, right? And that's probably a lot of people's friends right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to elevate myself. I just wanted to get out of that. So through the process of finding new mentors, through finding programs and conferences that were uplifting and stretched, like a rubber band stretching, like as soon as you stop going and stretching yourself, it's just going to go back to the way you were. So every single year, my plan is to keep investing more in myself and my company because it all trickles down, right? If we have a bad attitude, if we don't have a giant vision or big goals, nobody in our company is either.
Yeah. So
it starts with us as a leader of like, here's where we're going. Who wants to come with? Here's how I'm bettering myself. That's going to help and trickle down. And that's how you start to get massive gains, and it just snowballs from there. So like, I would tell you the truth, in 2020, we probably spent 220 grand in trainings and different courses.
Wow.
Compared to $4,000 the year before.
Yeah.
But I knew that if I could at least get 220 or 300,000 more, in revenue, whatever I learned is going to just snowball down every single year.
Yeah.
So, and that's what happened. I didn't know what I didn't know, and being around those people and that environment of just people stretching you and wanting you to do better and bigger things. And then you start getting in rooms with people in your community or in different states that are, companies of $400 million in revenue or companies that are $60 billion in revenue. Like I would have never thought that I'd be spending time with those people if I was still thinking small. So by stretching yourself, you start to kind of change your attitude, you change your mood, you change your habits, but it all starts with that vision. Where do you want to be in life? So for me, I wanted to impact as many people as possible. I want more millionaires working for me than anywhere else in our industry because nobody's doing that. Right. So how do I do that? Or who do I have run this division in a different state? Like, how do I make this happen? And when I started having some reason and some drive behind it, that's when stuff just started clicking. All right, let's work on this. Let's work on this. Let's grow here. Let's add this in. And that's what makes it fun. Like every day, there's always something we can do to better ourselves or take us to the next level.
At what point in business or in life, like I know you said 2020 is when you spent all that money, but at what point in life or business did you really think like something needs to change? Like we have to go to the next level. And what made you think that? Like what was there something that clicked? Like what made you make that jump to spending that amount of money in self-development?
Yeah, I mean, it was more of just if there's something out there that can help take us to the next level or help me personally grow, I need to look for that. And for me, it was going to a Grant Cardone conference in Vegas in 2020.
Yeah.
Right. And I spent the money to get like front row, to get the backstage access to him and hang out and everything. And I'm like, there is nobody out there that I've seen that kind of motivates and helps businesses like he did. So from that, then it led into more business development, training for my staff, my team. But that was the big thing. I knew that there was something I was missing, and I didn't want to have life pass me by. And then looking back 30 years, being like, now we're only we've only grown $1 million or we've doubled in 20 years. I don't want that. Mm-hmm. Like if we're not doubling every couple of years, that's unacceptable.
Wow.
So we just raise the bar for everything.
Yeah. You take it to the next, literally everything to the next level. That's insane. So you said you did the Grant Cardone conference. What was that money like? I'm spending that amount of money to do that, and because I know people are like, I don't want to get coaching. I don't want to get help. I don't want to do this. If they can do it, I can do it too. I can figure it out. Are you just built it with that humility of like, no, I want somebody else to teach me, or how did you get through that? I don't know. That's just I feel like that's a catch that people get caught on all the time of not wanting to accept advice from other people out there.
It's got to be internal, yeah. Right? If you think that you're already where you need to be, I mean, that's a tough thing to get over. Like for me, I realized that I could be doing way more with my time, my efforts, and my abilities. And that's when it clicked. Like what I'm doing in the past has only got me this far. I need to seek out something else. If it's industry, if it's not industry, whatever that is. I used to go to GIE conferences before and go to different seminars and trainings and everything, but they don't really tell you how to build your vision, how to be a better person and blow a company up, right?
Yeah.
Here's the little things that will set you apart and make sure to know the numbers and all that stuff's important. But you kind of take pieces of that from every conference or everything you go to. So like for the Cardone conference I went to back then, you could still get tickets for $97. So it wasn't anything outrageous, but if you learned one thing or were motivated that would change your path in business, then it's probably worth it.
Yeah, for $100.
And the same thing and there's classes at the GIE or the Equip this year too. If you can sit in on one of those and learn one new thing, if it makes you another $1,000 or $100,000 or puts a process in place, then it's worth it. So this is what you just don't know what you don't know until you go to those places and be around those environments of other business owners all trying to level up, right? And this is about a week and a half ago, I spoke at the Lawn and Landscape Tech Summit in Scottsdale. And those are a lot of people there trying to improve their businesses. Like what software is out there that can get us to the next level? What piece of tech can take us from this to this? So you have to want to better yourself also. And a lot of guys are just beating themselves up because they get burned out from working in the field or in the office all day. And there's so many hurdles and issues, and they're getting questions all the time. Well, there's something that can help with that, right? You just haven't gone out and seen what's out there.
Mm.
There's a piece of tech. There's a way to handle the business. There's a way to run the process. Um, there's a way to get new customers or get rid of toxic people in your company. So you have to learn what you don't know to get to the next level.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff. You have to learn that stuff, and it's self education. You gotta figure out how to you. I don't know. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to even figure out where to begin. Like, how did you even begin to find good mentors and good conferences to go to? Did you just simply do Google searches? Like, did you try to get in with members of your community that you knew? How did that process start? Because I think everybody agrees with everything you say, but then I think there's a lot of guys that just say, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I can't afford to go spend however many $1,000s to sit front row and backstage with Grant Cardone. So I know there's the $97 ticket to get in the door. That would be an option. But like even before that, where would you even start or begin to help grow yourself and become a better business leader?
Yeah, that's a powerful question because for me, I started doing this before going to those conferences, right? I found in my community, where are all the people that I would want to surround myself? What are they doing?
Mm.
Right? What events are they going to? Where do they go out to eat for dinner? Where do they go to, get coffee in the morning? Where do they go to lunch during the day? And I started just spending time at those places. So I would start going to, instead of like fast food or the bar and grills
Yeah.
at night, I'd go to like the nice steakhouses and sit at the bar where it's just open seating, and then you meet people and you just start connecting and you network with those people. And that's how we get a lot of business too, is I meet builders. I meet people that are CFOs of companies, like when I go out to those restaurants, because I'm always looking to talk to somebody new. And that's just the extrovert in me. I love talking to new people. So I always make a connection or get a phone number or figure out a way how I can help somebody else. They might not even need my services yet, but I might be able to help them with something, right? Maybe they need a pool person that I can refer them to, or they're tired of their builder of their new house. Like whatever it is, I can try to help them too. And then you just kind of level up. And once you start being friends and getting in those circles with those people, then you start going to fundraiser events, you start going to galas, you start going to all this stuff, and you meet people. And once you start meeting people, it just keeps spiraling. Like, oh, I remember seeing you at this event, or I saw you at this person's barbecue. And that's another reason why a lot of our customers are higher end, right? I get invited to their pool parties, I get invited to their Fourth of July parties, and then I meet the mayor or I meet congressmen. And it's funny how just a customer can turn into that. So if you try to get the best customers in your town, be nice with them, get them a bottle of wine, get them a golf outing, whatever it is. But generally want to help them, not use them, then they start including you in their circle and in their life.
Yeah, the story about going out to eat places, you said that last time you were on the show, and that it literally has always stuck with me. I still think about that every day. As soon as you started telling it, I was like, this needs to be told again. And just the difference that I think that can make in, I don't know. You need to be, I think there's points of business you need to be frugal, you need to be smart with your money. But at the same time, like going out, like you're saying, go out to eat where food isn't $20. It's $75 or $80 for a meal. And like, that's where those people are going to be. That's where those high end people are going to be. And so let me say this. People want to say you buy back your time and you want to. So when you buy back your time to grow and become better, the problem is you have to do something with that time that free time that you add up. You can't just come home and take a nap. Like that's the thing is and I've only heard that said once on one other show, and that was Ed Milet who talked about that on his show. And I don't think people talk about it enough is that when you put a process in place or you add a new software in and it frees up 30 minutes a day for you, you can't just take those 30 minutes and not be more productive. Like you're going to go backwards if you're not. So what I'm saying is like if you go to that place, that $75 meal, and you spend $75 on a steak, don't sit there and look at your plate all night and not get up and network with anybody. Because then what's the point? You're just wasting $75. I mean, you probably got a good meal out of it, but $75 out the window. So what are some points, some tricks, some tips that you would give to somebody about maybe who's a little more introverted about getting out and making those connections and helping and growing and meeting new people?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, it starts with just you, right? So, what are you spending your time on after you get home? Are you watching the news? Are you scrolling social for 5 hours? Are you watching Netflix for 4 hours? I mean, you need to invest in yourself first. And that could be with podcasts. It could be with, you know, any kind of books or training just to get you to stretch yourself, stretch your brain to
Mm.
learn one new thing. Because then you just start thinking differently. And then you get, maybe you don't have enough confidence if you're introverted. So start on podcast, books, stuff like that, or business development that you can do in your house for 1 hour a night or 2 hours a night to get in those when you're in those areas, then you're confident enough to do so.
Yeah.
Right. So it still starts with you and what you do in your downtime. If it's detrimental and it's not getting you towards your goal, then you shouldn't be doing it. So always have that goal in front of you. Like, what's the big 10-year goal? Is what you're doing right now moving you closer to it or further away?
Mm.
And just from that mindset shift, and maybe it's a body shift, maybe you need to go to the gym more after work or before work, then you get more confidence, you get more energy, then you meet people at the gym, then you, whatever happens, you get connections from that way too. So it's all stuff about taking care of yourself, taking care of your brain, so that way when you are presentable, you dress nice, you go out. I mean, don't wear khaki shorts, flip flops to a nice steakhouse, but
Yeah.
then people are attracted to you because you have that inner happiness. I mean, so whenever I meet people, like, I'm not sulking at the bar, like at the restaurant. I always sit in the bar areas, not the actual bar. Does that make sense? But
Yeah.
where you're not in a booth and you're closed off and nobody wants to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So if you show up in those instances and you're just generally happy and people can see that and you're not pissed off and you're not complaining about the work or your day or your life or your family or whatever that is, people see that and they won't even talk to you. They'll just sense that.
Yeah.
So you have to bring that up and build yourself up first before you can get in those situations. But there's so many different things too. I mean, there's so many chamber events if you're just starting out. If you have a chamber for your city or your county, join that. It might be a couple $100 a year, but they do ribbon cuttings, they do open houses, they do coffee connections, they do events where you'll meet one person that maybe owns one company or the head of this company, and then it just keeps growing. So you're making connections no matter what you do, and presenting yourself in a way that is bringing people towards you. You want to be somebody that attracts people, not pushes them away.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff, man. That's it. That's very good. I mean, people are going to get so tired of me saying this, but I think I can take and relate personally to what you said about finding something that makes you like get a different mindset, give a mindset shift. And mine was like it was one book. It was How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And I've never been a reader. I don't like reading. I actually listen to it on Audible. I listened to it like 2 or 3 times to let it really sink in. But like I'm nowhere near where I need to be in business development, self-development. But that one book alone has started me on a path that I didn't know I would ever go on. And I'm 4 years into business, and it's taken me this long to get here. But 6 months ago, I started reading and listening to that book, and now it's like, this is what I'm all about. Like, I want to listen to these podcasts. I want to do this stuff all day, every day. And I think it's what you're saying. It just takes one thing. Like, I don't know what it is. It's different for everybody. It might be a conference. It might be a podcast. It might be a book. But find something. And, like, just if you don't know, if you feel like you're stuck in a cycle, find something to help you break the mold of just, running like a rat in a wheel. I mean, that.
Exactly. And it could be cutting something or somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be one toxic person in your company that's making you not be your fullest potential.
Mm.
It could be a friend. It could be a family member, right? So like, as soon as you identify that, like, these people are holding me back from what I'm destined to do, then you got to eliminate that. I mean, life's too short to keep those people around. So no matter what it is, you just want positive people, winners around you, and people are going to just ask the right questions and influence you. I mean, it could be people in our industry right now. It could be somebody across the country in the same industry or different industry, but just start connecting with those people. And then when you have these conversations, it's business, it's development. It might not even be a book, but they might pull you into the next level too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's tons of people in our industry and others that are willing to help. I mean, no matter what, if they're people that are negative, you can tell right away. Nobody wants to hang out with them. So find those people. That's probably the easiest free thing to do is just go to these events, right? Go to these industry events. Like who are the people that are always talking negative and like complaining about work and about employees
Yeah.
and all this stuff? And then who are the people that are super excited to grow and learn new things and start hanging out with them more?
Absolutely. And I think one thing you just slid in there is ask good questions. Like if you're meeting with somebody who can really help you with business development, like I don't take it for granted that we get to sit here and have this conversation and you came on the show and sacrifice your time tonight to give back to me and to other people out there listening. But like, I'm not going to sit here and ask you how much you charge to cut a lawn. How much does Elkhorn charge to do irrigation install? Like, get with people in your community and ask them that. Get with other business owners that you can find in your local community. Like, don't go to Equip and ask Corey Ballard how much to charge for a lawn. That's not what the question you should be asking him. You should be asking Corey Ballard, how do I grow a company to one of the biggest in America? Like those type of questions. Like what questions do you ask to get to that level? And I think that's something that people don't do enough is they get so caught up in the day-to-day, they lose that long-term vision. Like if you don't have that long-term vision, you're going to be stuck asking yourself, well, how much do I charge to trim these bushes tomorrow? And
Exactly.
how do you elevate your thinking? Like how do you start getting to that level, even when you're still in the field? Because you have to start when you're still in the field. I'm still in the field every day right now, trying to work my way out of it. But you can't. I don't feel like you could ever get out of the field until you elevate your thinking.
Yeah, I mean, and there's two things that I was going to touch on with what you just said, but for just elevating your thinking too, I mean, you have to know what the end goal is. And it doesn't have to be a dollar amount, it doesn't have to be this, but do you want to travel and spend time with your family? Like, what are you working towards? Because if you don't have motivation to work towards something, you're just in the grind day in and day out.
Yep.
Right. So as soon as you have that vision, put it up on your mirror, put it up on your fridge, whatever it is, so you see it every day, write it down in your notebook or your planner, put it as an alarm in your phone, like 5 minutes after you wake up. So that way it pops up, you read it again every single day. Like whatever you have to do to just keep yourself accountable and motivated of what you're doing is so important. And I think that no matter what, I mean, there's so many ways that there's probably a list of everybody that's a big landscape or lawn care company in your town that you could find, right? Just Google them. Ask them to coffee. Ask them to just jump on a phone call or do a Zoom. Find somebody on the top 100 in lawn and landscape. That's what I did probably 7 years ago. I actually went to Atlanta and sat down with one that was like number 27 or 29 or whatever it was. But we had a list of good questions. Like, what was your biggest pain point to go from 1 million to 3 million? Or how did you handle creating new divisions with your existing team? Like, get very detailed so that they have to think too of like how it happened, and it's going to affect exactly the same place that you're at in business. So as soon as you can kind of break those out, and I ask that question a ton. I'm like, what did you have to do? What steps did you put in place to take you from 10 to 25 million or 25 to 50? Like, how did you go from 100 to 500 million? Like, what was the big change there? Because everybody's is going to be a little bit different. And when you start collecting that data, then you're like, okay, this worked for them. They told me this didn't work. This set them back about $5 million or $100,000, whatever level you're at. But you don't know until you ask them.
Yeah.
But just by getting that information, that knowledge, it elevates you, because then you're seeing, okay, if this company is at $40 million and our processes are way better than theirs, right? That's motivation right there.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, we can do way better than that. So no matter what, it's just constantly reminding yourself, like, what am I working towards? What's it professionally, financially look like, personally as a family? Like, put yourself in that position or that vision of, like, close your eyes. Where are you at 10 years from now? What would you like it to look like? Write it down. Is it on a plane with your family and 2 kids going to Cancun? Or is it mowing grass, right? You want to make sure that you put that stuff in place, and then, okay, now we can work backwards. From 10 years to 5 years, what do we need to do within 5 years? From 5 years to 3 to 1, what do we have to do this quarter to make sure we're on track to hit our 1-year goal or 3-year goal or 5-year goal?
Yep.
So everything's kind of reverse engineered. That's how I look at it. But you still have to, you just got to think way bigger than what you're thinking now.
Yeah.
because we're all desperate. We all can do so much more.
Man, that's it right there. I said that on the last show, and like you said, we can all do so much more. I don't know why this is such an epiphany to me. It's so funny. It's such a small. It's you can tell I've just thought so small for so long, but like literally anyone could be anything they ever want to be. Anybody can put themselves where they want to be if you just put the time and the effort, and the work and the hustle into it. And you could literally be the CEO of $100 billion company if you wanted to. Like now, yeah, you might have to come up with a product or something along the way, but you could if you really really wanted to. And I mean, I think, have you had this dream since a kid? Like when did your vision really set place and take place for you of where you wanted to be?
I always knew I was destined for something big. I just didn't know what it was
Yeah.
until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. Probably about 2019 is when I'm like, I'm not putting everything I have into this company.
Mm.
Like I was starting to get pulled away, like my real estate company, my fabrication company. Like I've invested in a couple other companies too. And it was like, if I just focus that attention on this company, we could be doing so much more. And we could be buying all the other companies that we see growing, or we could be expanding into markets where I see like Brightview bought another company every single month. I see that in landscape. Like they just bought another one in Texas. They bought another one in Utah. I'm like, God, why am I thinking so small that we can't be doing that?
Yeah.
So it was just more of focusing on what was working already, what we're good at, get rid of the distractions, like the shiny objects, that the ideas that come up, or the simple service that's like, oh, we should maybe do gutters too, right? You always get into that, but what are you truly good at? And how do you scale that and reproduce yourself, reproduce your team to make sure that you're the best in that service or services, right? And then there's game planning, and there's different ways to do that with, okay, now we have a team in place. Now it's time to scale. But people don't know how to scale if they've never scaled before.
Yep.
You don't know how to go from one location to two if you only have one location, right? So that's where like a coach, a mentor, any kind of training platforms will help with that too. But it's figuring out what you truly want. And that's what I did probably a couple of years ago. So it's not that long ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And it
look where
just
you've
flipped the
gotten.
switch.
Yeah. Look where you've
So
gotten
we
in
probably
those years.
doubled. Yeah, doubled since 2019.
Wow. And when do you plan to double again by? I know you have a plan.
It's all in plan. 2020 kind of messed some stuff up,
Yeah.
but we are looking at, like I said, we're looking at 4 different companies right now.
Yeah.
If 2 of those 4 go through, we'll triple.
Wow.
If one of them goes through, we'll double. One of them's a little bit smaller, but that's how I was tired of thinking. Like I told everybody the 15% growth, like
Yep.
15%, 15%, 15%. It's going to take forever to double. So what's the easiest way to double? Okay, acquire a company that's our size.
Yeah.
Acquire accounts. Then you don't only just get the accounts, you get all the equipment, you get all the skilled people.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of trying to think like, man, I really need one more guy in the crew. I really need 10 more guys to be to maximize all the influx of customers we have. Well, don't try to like find 10 people. Try to buy a company that has 20 people. Then you don't have to worry about 10. Right.
Yeah.
So
That is
setting that money
high-level thinking.
aside,
Yeah.
but you got to set the money aside too. Right. You have to set aside some profit. You got to set aside and just plan properly that you're profitable. So when that opportunity comes, I think there are going to be a lot more coming soon, just after the last couple of years, and
Yeah.
people didn't price properly with the products and services, or products and manufacturing and supply chain that's went up. So there's going to be a lot of people exiting the industry. We're already seeing it right now.
Yeah, and you have to take advantage of it. I think that the whole people thing, and you just go buy a company, something like that. That's something that a small thinking won't get you there. That you won't think that won't go through your head. You will just think, well,
No.
let me do 10 Facebook ads and try to bring on 10 people. Like that's what small thinking does, and that's literally what I'm in. Like that one statement right there totally just opened my eyes. Like wow, you have to look at things differently. And do you think that's a product of all of the conferences and all of the growth that you've taught yourself over the last couple of years?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Between mentors that are on completely different levels. Like one of my mentors, he's going to be the first company that has $1 trillion under assets and
That's
management.
insane. Yeah.
Like that's his 2-year goal, and he'll get it. So just being able to like hear that stuff, I'm like, why am I so scared of this next level when he's going after something that 99.9% of people would never even think is fathomable?
Yeah.
Right. So being around those people definitely stretch you. Um, but it's also the trainings, the conferences, like you have to start putting good stuff in your head. You have to start being stretched with those conferences with one keynote, with one topic or one takeaway you can implement in your business right now. Because that's how it starts. And then one thing leads to two, it leads to four, it leads to eight. Like it keeps growing.
Yeah. So here's a small thinking question, but I have to ask it. How do you even get a mentor like that? Like, where do you make that connection of somebody who's got $1 trillion? You don't say who it is, but like, how do you even make that connection?
So this was kind of it's a local person, and he doesn't have $1 trillion. Like that's just his goal to have under
Yeah.
management,
Yeah.
right? So, but I mean, it's a it's a it's a very prominent person in the area,
Yeah.
and it's somebody that I just kind of manifested it. Like I just want big people in my life,
Yeah.
and after a while, like his connections, I used to know the family like a long time ago, and then it just resurfaced like a year ago.
Yeah.
And then by asking the right questions, by being knowledgeable, by just being able to show like my personal growth, like that's what attracts those types of people.
Yeah.
They're not going to hang out with the people that are downers, that are CEOs of a Fortune 500 company, that are just horrible lifestyle, horrible habits. Like they want people that are like going to ask them questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you see yourself doing in 10 years? Like, what's the big vision for your family? Like, what's your footprint look like across Asia or whatever it is? Like,
Yeah.
how can you kind of tie that into them? And then they're like, oh shit, I never thought about that.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And then I asked them like why they're thinking small.
Yeah.
Like, why are you just thinking about the US?
Yeah.
People have money everywhere.
Yeah. And I think it goes that right there goes all the way back to what you said at the very beginning of the show of you just need to be willing to help other people. You need to be trying to help other people in that first conversation. How can I help you grow? How can I? Because like I feel like when people reach that level, when you get around high level thinking, they're looking for people to give that real true feedback for them and like to challenge them because they're probably I don't know. What do you think about this? In my opinion, I feel like there's probably so many people that fangirl around them that think they're so. I mean, they got $1 trillion assets or whatever. Not even that guy, but everybody thinks they made it. Everybody thinks they're on top of the world. So they probably don't get that challenging, that critical thinking that you're giving them. I mean, do you think that's something that they're searching and longing for in a friend?
I think so. With anybody that's at those kind of levels, even the companies that are $50 million,
Yeah.
like people are just trying to be in their space to use them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
They're trying to use them. They're trying to just, oh, they've got an awesome pool. They've got an awesome house. Can we just come over for a party? And then I never wanted to be a user. Like, how can I provide to those people no matter what? Like, text them happy birthday, right? Or send them something nice, or just ask how the family's doing. Like, you don't have to use and try to get ahead by using and stepping on other people. I think that's important because that's where most of the people that have that fan base or that kind of following, they don't want that. They don't want people around them because that's what's been happening for most of their life.
Exactly.
So once you find all those level-headed people and like-minded people, then it's like, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what car you drive or what planes you have. Like, let's have a real conversation. Let's hang out. Let's not even go out to a nice restaurant. Let's like hang out at a house and just converse.
Yeah.
Or just hang out for 2 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do that with a lot of my mentors and business owners, just like let's grab a light snack or something, or coffee on a Sunday morning before you take the kids to whatever. Mm-hmm. Right. And they'd much rather just do that than be asked, all these ridiculous things.
Yeah. Man, that's good.
So there's a lot. I mean, there's so much that can be done and so much that we can do to improve our lives and other people's lives, but we have to truly want to help people. Yeah. We have to truly care about people. So
yep, be a giver. Be a giver, not a taker. Well, man, we're already over what I told you we would be going. I got 2 quick things to wrap up here. I do want to hit real quick on processes and scaling. So we don't talk as much scaling. I really want to talk processes because I feel like processes are and systems are part of scaling. I don't think you can scale without that. So you're talking about, you said right now y'all are working on implementing more systems, more processes to help you grow. How do you do that? How do you start implementing softwares and processes and building a team around you to do those things?
Sure. So you don't even have to have a software for that, right? If I would have known, look at it this way. 15 years ago when I started, I trained a trimmer probably hundreds of times. I told people how to do it. I had to physically be there showing them how to do it, right? When we started getting office staff, I trained one person and then you have to do the exact same thing to train the next person. So even if you're small or you're a large company right now, by documenting every single thing of your day, excuse me, if you document every single thing of your day and think of it, how would a 5-year-old do this?
Yeah.
Right? That you'd show somebody one time, you hand them a handbook, or you do a training video, or you have a vault of all your information of all the different processes. That way, that those questions don't keep coming back to you. Like, okay, you might be training one person right now, but think about if 20 people started next Monday, right? How many questions would they be asking you?
Yep.
What can you give them to just, here's the blueprint and the workbook to get up to speed. So it's not a 1 month training application or onboarding. It's like a 1 week or a 1 or 2 week onboarding to get them to master what you've been doing for so long. So we're going through every single part of every software, every service, everything that we do day in and day out. We're building that platform of, okay, you want to learn how to put in a service call for weeds for fertilizing. Here's every step along the way of how to do it. So you can search for it, you can find it. Here's the blueprint. And it takes time. I mean, we've been working on this for 8 months, but once it's done, 100% done, there should be no questions. And then we can pull all that data. You want to learn how to be a billing specialist in our company? Here's all the information after we onboard, if there's any questions, but everything's in this vault.
Yeah.
So that's the only way you can scale, is to get those processes documented.
Yeah.
It's what I teach with a lot of my clients too, with coaching, but it takes a lot of time, but the more you push it back, it's going to just keep getting pushed back.
Yep.
So until you start putting those in place and documenting it for trading purposes, you're going to keep just spinning your wheels. Because if that one person leaves, you got to train another one. Or when you're starting a new crew, what's the process for that, right? Think about like when you're starting tons of crews, you don't have the time to train everybody.
Yeah.
So it's so important. I wish I would have done that, like I said, the first year in business or 5-10 years ago. So it's important.
Yeah, man. No, I think that's very applicable on any level. I think even down to a small owner-operated business like I have, and I think a lot of guys listening in have, something I think I want to do and start doing probably like right now heading into the off season, especially as time frees up more, getting ready for next year, is like you just said about training a guy on a trimmer. Like, just make a 15 to 20 minute video of like everything he's ever going to do with a trimmer. You do it yourself and record it, and then say, here, you watch this for 20 minutes at night before you come in the next day. And how much time is that going to save you the next day on a lawn? That in and of itself.
Tons. Or just show them pictures of the trimmer.
Yeah.
Do like a 1 day, not in the field, but 1 day in the shop or in the office training.
Yeah.
Okay, here's all the safety stuff. Here's how pictures of like the trimmers, the mower, the on and off. Do all that classroom type stuff first.
Yep.
Then take them out in the shop. Here's what the trimmer looks like. You watch the video. How do you start it? Right? Just simple stuff that you don't even think about that takes so much of your time that could be in that documentation. Or, how do I re-string a trimmer?
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
So get them hands on before they're in the field. Take that little bit of time so that they know and they're set before you get frustrated of constantly trying to train them in the field.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Nobody's going to be happy when you're out there trying to teach somebody how to restring it when you're behind, rain's coming, it's hot outside. Like, nobody's going to want to do that. It's not going to be good for owner or employee. Man, I'm fired up. I'm energized. I want to go record a video now and get this stuff done. It's good. I hope it resonates with some of you out there listening. I don't want to hold you too much longer, man. I want to be respectful of your time tonight. If you had one piece of advice to give anybody out there starting a business or in business currently, what would it be?
And one piece, I mean, I would just say that your thinking, your vision, your goals are probably not high enough, right? Because you're destined for so much more. You can do so much more. You're capable of so much more. So stop setting low target goals and start figuring out, a massive goal, because as soon as you put in that massive goal, you start thinking differently, like we talked about, right? If you think of the adding 5 or 10 team members, right, you're just going to think of, I need to put ads out. I got to do all this. When you set those big goals, then you start thinking differently. Do I buy a company? Do I, whatever I need to do? Do I start another company? So your brain just starts operating and thinking differently of how you can achieve that goal.
Yeah.
But if you're still in the rut of like 10%, 15%, I mean, there's so much more that you're capable of doing.
Yeah. Man.
And get the knowledge. Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
100%.
Invest in yourself. I think that, man, this has been 50 minutes of just packed good stuff. Are you going to be at Equip this year? Is everybody going to people be able to find you there?
I'm not sure if I can make it yet. Okay. So I'm hosting a mastermind event in Omaha.
Yeah.
Right before that in October. So I'm trying to figure out if I can move some stuff around to get there right afterwards, but yeah, I'll try my hardest.
Well, good deal, man. Well, we hope you make it. I hope to see you there. If I don't, hopefully, I don't know, man. We need to hook up. I need to come out there. I want to come out there and see what you got going on out there, and maybe go play some golf or something while we're out there. But
for sure,
man, where can everybody find you? So, like I said at the beginning, you weren't really on socials most of your business career. Now you've kind of really gotten on socials. You're starting to dominate them. You're putting out a lot of content. Where can everybody find you? Plug your stuff. Where can everybody find you, and how? What are you doing out there to help other people?
Sure. I'm on all platforms, James Manske, Manske. You can get information at jamesmanske.com on upcoming events. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the homepage, I host a weekly free Zoom webinar for people in our industry, from pools to tree work to irrigation, lawn landscape, to everybody. And it's free. And every week we touch on a different topic, and it also gives you a chance to ask questions. So that community of people that we're just talking about this in the beginning, I just came to me. So we're all elevating each other in that, and that's free. So you don't have to go out to the community to raise your beliefs, right? So you can get those questions answered. You can be stretched on that weekly Zoom. It's Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time PM. So between weekly free stuff or social, I put a lot of stuff out there too for no matter what level of business you're at. But you can also, like I said, come to the events that we're putting on. I mean, I've got a book that's out on Amazon. You could also get on the website too, but feel free to reach out. I mean, any questions that you guys have, there's an answer to that's waiting for you.
Yeah.
Right. So don't be shy to just reach out, send me a message on social, shoot me an email, and be happy to help.
But remember, if you're going to ask James a question, ask him a good question. Don't waste James's time. Ask him a good question and make his time valuable, because I know you got a lot of stuff going on, and I appreciate you coming on tonight. I appreciate everything you do for the community. Y'all need to go check him out on socials. Join the weekly thing. Man, I still need to get on that thing. You started it last year. I remember we started, and then I coached basketball, so every Tuesday night we had basketball, and I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. I missed every single one. But I need to get on there next week and start putting it on the calendar, because I know I've missed a lot of good stuff, and I need to get in there and start learning and growing and helping myself grow. Well, man, I think that's going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the show today. If you did enjoy it, leave us a big 5-star rating and review. Those really help us and boost us out there so we can continue I just fell over my words there. So we can continue to grow the community one relationship at a time. But, James, thank you so much for your time tonight, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, guys, thanks again for tuning in, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.